So, the day has come. But you're probably going to see this either late at night or maybe in the morning. I honestly do not know. I'm trying to rush this since my dad has sadly put curfew back. Dang it. But still, that's not the point. The point is that the week has arrived for when the hype train ends this Friday for Spider-Man No Way Home. But what I'm trying to say is that will I be able to complete my review series of me reviewing all 7 current Spider-Man movies? Let's find out. And I'll possibly review Into the Spider-Verse tomorrow, so we'll see what will go down. Hello, welcome back to another movie review, and this is my movie review for Spider-Man, which I wish I'd done a movie review of this a long time ago this month. No, not this month, this year. But sadly I didn't. But I'm going to try to review all 7, and maybe Into the Spider-Verse. But yeah, basically all 8 reviews, all movies, but review all 8 movies of Spider-Man, including Spider-Verse, because I'm going to watch it tomorrow, since it came out tomorrow. It came out on December 14th of 2018, so why not? But I gotta try to keep my voice down, because everyone's asleep, so yeah, let's hope I'm not too loud. But I have taken notes on my thoughts with Spider-Man. Same goes for Spider-Man 2 and 3. Gotta take notes for TASM and TASM 2, along with Homecoming Far From Home. But still, I'm gonna do everything in my power to review all Spider-Man movies before I see Spider-Man No Way Home this Friday. And already the red carpet premiere is happening in LA. Wish I was there, joining along with Soups and everyone else. But I'm hoping Soups has a good time, which he's definitely gonna have a good time. But this is where the terror begins for me. Spoilers. I'm hoping you all delete social media off your phone. I ain't gonna delete it. Why? Because I will know how to log back in. Yeah, that's on me. But still, I'm gonna try to avoid. I'm gonna do my best. I must do everything in my power, because I swear to God, if I get spoiled about No Way Home, I will literally murder myself. Not what you think. That's just a saying that I'll just be devastated. That I should really come up with another saying, because murdering myself would just sound like committing suicide. God, I don't know what I'm not thinking straight. Now let's just get down to business. So, not only Spider-Man was the beginning of the Spider-Man saga, or, in other words, the franchise of the Spider-Man movies, but Spider-Man 2002 is honestly a freaking masterpiece in my opinion. And you all would say it's a good comic book movie and everything. I will agree with that, but honestly, I think it's just a masterpiece. And even though I said that, in my trailer reaction for No Way Home, I had said that after seeing Doc Ock, I then changed my opinion of my ranking, which was originally 1, 2, and 3. But then 2, 1, 3. Honestly, this is my personal favorite Spider-Man out of the 3. As a kid, Spider-Man 3 was my most favorite, which I'll get to that. I'll get to there soon. I gotta review this along with Spider-Man 2, but anyway, so yeah. So of course, this movie was part of my childhood, because, yeah, I was obsessed with Spider-Man. I have gotten obsessed with it thanks to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. And of course, this came out in 2002, and I was born in 2006, but either way, this was part of my childhood. But, so yeah, this is part of my childhood, and it could be the reason I found my love for Spider-Man, because I was so obsessed with Spider-Man. Like I said, I was very obsessed with Spider-Man, thanks to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. I wish I had gotten Spider-Man powers, because, I mean, I'm not the only person that wished I had gotten Spider-Man powers. Now, I love Spider-Man, but I hate spiders. So, what are the chances of me getting near a radioactive spider, me with my phobia, arachnophobia, basically fear of spiders, and just, what are the chances of getting, just, I don't know. But I still wish I had Spider-Man powers, because I think they're the best superpowers ever. Yeah, they make top flight, invisibility, or anything. I don't know. I was obsessed on getting Spider-Man powers. Still, the Sam Raimi trilogy were part of my childhood movies, and I still love them to this day. But my personal favorite Spider-Man movie from this trilogy has to be the first one. When I was a kid, the third one was my most favorite. But we'll talk about Spider-Man 3. Like I said earlier, another time. But for now, let's talk about the beginning of an era. So, one of the best parts about Spider-Man is the opening credits, plus the theme for the soundtrack, the suit, and Willem Dafoe's performance as the Green Goblin. Now, yes, I'll agree, Spider-Man 2 is the best Spider-Man movie, but I sometimes have trouble understanding how that's the best Spider-Man movie, but I don't have a problem with that. But the reason that the first one is my personal favorite is because I think it's one of the best Spider-Man movies ever made, and it's mainly because I think Green Goblin was the perfect villain and possibly the true arch nemesis for Spider-Man. Yes, Spider-Man has like a crap ton of villains, and I'd say Venom's the true arch nemesis, but I'll explain that another time, which would be my review for Spider-Man 3. But yeah, another reason for this movie being my personal favorite is because this movie is too damn iconic, and the entire damn trilogy is too damn iconic as well. But still, I guess we started the saga with Green Goblin as the villain. We'll be ending the saga with him as the main villain for Spider-Man No Way Home. Anyways, as I was saying, now there are a few nitpicks I have for this movie. Like, Mary Jane. No, I don't have a problem with her. It's her getting treated like crap throughout this entire movie. Like, her father has to be the worst, because he's so rude to her, and a few other people along with Norman Osborn saying those horrible stuff to her on Thanksgiving. But it's not really a nitpick. It's something I felt bad about in the movie. But wanna know something I was pissed about in this movie? Peter Parker's best friend, Harry Osborn, had started dating Peter's crush, which would be Mary Jane Watson. Yes, I know, Peter didn't make a move on her, but I just felt like that was a bit of a messed up thing and was like stabbing Peter in the back. Now, another nitpick I have for this movie, but probably don't want to make a big deal about it, but while Peter is like shirtless in one scene where basically he finds himself, oh wow, when did I get muscular? He sees Mary Jane throughout the window, that he's getting ready for school, and I imagine him being a bit creepy, like a little pervert with Mary Jane, but it's not a problem I have with this movie. It's just, I sometimes think like that, and I try not to think about it, because everyone was probably like that back in the 2000s. But of course, Peter doesn't act like a pervert or be a creep in this movie. It's just something I sometimes think about while I watch this movie. It's kind of weird that I think about that. Now I feel disturbed about it. But Peter is a nerd in this movie until he, of course, gets powers from a radioactive spider. But honestly, I don't know if I have any negatives for this movie. Yes, I explained some of my nitpicks I have, but I'll have some nitpicks for this movie. But honestly, I don't think I'll have any negatives for this movie, because this movie it's just a freaking masterpiece. I don't know any words to describe this movie, because all I can say besides being a masterpiece, but it is awesome, it is spectacular, and it is amazing. Of course, it is amazing. I mean, it is one of the best comic book origin movies, according to other people. Of course, I love all three movies of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy, but my personal favorite will always be the first one, which would be Spider-Man 2002. But one of my most favorite scenes of this movie has to be the final battle where Peter is getting beaten the crap out of Goblin, which I'm hoping in No Way Home we have something like that. Like, I would like to see that go down with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. But anyways, as I was saying, the final battle where Peter is getting beaten the crap out of Goblin, and then Peter fights back. But one thing that pretty much scarred me for life while watching this movie as a kid was the death of Green Goblin. I would say that scene was incredible, but that scene was crazy, because it scarred me for life, and it still does to this day. Like, that death scene of Green Goblin just has to be one of the craziest death scenes I've ever seen in superhero movie history. But it's kind of sad when I think about it, because Peter never meant to kill Norman. He never wanted to, but it felt like Peter failed to save him. It's just but just still. The final battle is just one of my most favorite parts of the entire movie. That's just my most favorite scene of the entire thing. I mean, the action is good. Everything about this movie is good, but my most favorite part about this movie is the final battle. And I can even memorize the lines that Green Goblin says, which would be this: "You spun your last web, Spider-Man. Have you not been so selfish? Your little girlfriend's death would have been quick and painless, but now that you've really pissed me off, I'm gonna finish her nice and slow. MJ and I, we're gonna have a hell of a time." I'm sorry, that has to be my most favorite line that Willem Dafoe has ever said as the Green Goblin, and God, I cannot wait to see him as the Green Goblin again in Spider-Man No Way Home. Just 4 more days, baby. 4 more days. Hype is real. Now, of course, as I've done my movie reviews on the channel, I would have a review scale. Sadly, that's in the RV, and this week has been crazy because we've been moving from Vegas, well, Nevada to Florida, since they're both states, but Vegas to whatever city we're living in currently. But I will post a TikTok of what is on my review scale on the channel and on TikTok, if in case you haven't followed my TikTok, link in the description below. But, anyways, that's all I gotta talk about for Spider-Man. Be sure to let me know your thoughts, comments down below, and be sure to stay tuned for my review for Spider-Man 2, which, happens to be right here. But, as always, stay tuned for my upcoming Spider-Man reviews this week, along with my movie vlog and spoiler review. Either I'll post it on the weekend or on Christmas Eve, since I like to post spoiler reviews like next Fridays and all, to give everyone a week to see the movie and everything. But as always, I'll see you guys in the next Spider-Man review. Peace out.
You've spun your last web, Spider-Man. Had you not been so selfish, your little girlfriend's death would have been quick and painless, but now that you've really pissed me off, I'm gonna finish her nice and slow. MJ and I, we're gonna have a hell of a time.